started drinking anything.
I mean, what are you drinking currently?
I'll go for a Jaeger bomb. I'll do that.
Okay.
Nothing. I can go grab a drink.
Apparently,
No, hey,
apparently
that's
my
peer pressure,
intro
man.
decided it didn't want to run, so we're live.
Oh.
So what's up, guys?
Surprise.
I don't know what happened there, but this is unaVAILable. I'm your host, Trip. I got, wait, which way? I got Lipinski, Radar, Sumachi, Frigg, and Matt H with me tonight, and we're going to talk about Fall 7 and 8 playoffs, and we've got a highlight reel from Qual 5 and 6 to go over, but how's everyone doing tonight?
Loving it. Great night.
Great.
So for
I'll let the whiskey do the talking.
at home that can't figure out who is who, I put team logos on here to help out. Team Cobra Kai. I don't actually play anymore. I'm retired. We've got Lipinski on Dark Matter. Boss Fight for Radar Head. And then down here we've got Sumachi and Frigg, both on Vortex. Show us that jersey. Oh,
The takeover. Yeah, let's go.
Look at that. And
Let's
then
see the back.
Matt H
Yeah.
over here
Yeah,
on
we got the
Royal
back.
Strive.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to turn myself up a bit, and I'm going to turn you guys down because I need to be the loudest one in the room. So how y'all doing tonight? Thanks for joining me.
All good.
Fantastic.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I was informed 2 minutes into that pre-show that this was a drinking cast. So I had to run downstairs and make a rum sour. What do we have for the rest of the group here? Starting with Lipinski, what are you drinking?
I didn't know we were supposed to be drinking anything, so I got an empty water bottle.
Oh my god.
I can go get something, but...
Unacceptable. Unacceptable. What about over on the Radar side? What are you drinking?
I'm drinking some Woodford Reserve, sir. Some
that's a good
classic bourbon. And I just want to thank Matt H. One thing you failed to mention was that Matt H was drinking some red wine and no one else was drinking. And then we all scrambled. Everyone as one was like, shit, is it that sugar? Is it that drink? And we all
Matt
just
started
scrambled.
this. It's all his fault.
It's Matt's fault that we're drinking at 4 p.m. Let's go.
What about you, Sumachi? You drinking anything tonight?
I got myself a Jaeger bomb because it's the only thing that I have right now, and I felt left out. So
Wait, what? How
going
is
hard.
a Jaeger bomb your like go-to? It's ready to drink. I have so many concerns about you.
We all do, to be honest. It's a problem.
What about you, Frigg? What do you got to drink?
We got a 4 Roses single barrel.
Nice. That's a good one. That's a good one. And Matt is drinking his red wine. What?
No, I am not. I'm actually on whiskey now. The wine's finished.
Wow. Well, I made sure. I don't know how long this was gonna go, so I made sure to get both. I've got my rum sour and my deputy, which is invisible. We got beer and rum. But yeah, I'm excited to do this one. We've got a full deck tonight, and I think it's gonna go pretty well. I am hearing some background noise, so I'm gonna add a couple of filters really quick to get rid of some stuff for you guys. Let's see. Noise suppression.
Whoever's on the motorbike, if you could get off your motorbike, that'd be great.
Yeah, some busy traffic out there.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. Who am I still hearing? Okay. We're just gonna do a little bit of tuning real quick. Just a little bit. We want everyone to sound perfect while we talk tonight.
Yeah.
It's so hard to prep for all these people's different setups, right?
It's going to be
I just want to point out, it is. I just want to point out, even though you can see the Boss Fight logo, I am currently retired. I'm obviously casting, so I don't have time to play, and it wouldn't be fair on my team if I try to take a spot.
Yeah, that would totally be unfair. You're right.
All right. Well, I think I'm actually gonna let I don't know if he's the oldest one here, but he's the oldest one in the casting group here. So I'm gonna let Radar take it away. What do we want to go over first? Do you want to watch those highlights from 5 and 6?
I definitely feel like we should just roll the highlights. I mean, people have been watching us just out of here for a while. Let's show them some action. Let's show them some of the best things you could see in qualifier 6 and 7. Sorry, 5 and 6.
5 and 6. So the highlight reels take a little bit longer to make. So they're a little behind, but these are made from AxeLab. I think it's Panda over there that makes these, and they are beautiful. Now, there's no audio, so we're going to have to keep talking for the next 4 minutes straight. So let's just talk about what we saw. I mean, I could let them just watch the video, but look, there's so many good plays here. We've got grenades. I think, Lipinski, you actually casted this weekend, right? The Orange Men versus Vegan. This was you and Brax, right?
I believe so, yeah. I think that was Qual 6 or 5?
It was definitely one of those two. Those are the options.
Yeah. Savage. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I can't quite remember what qual. I think it was qualifier 6. I think it was on a Sunday that we did it. Me and Vrax. It was a fun cast. Oh my gosh, one of the most fun casts I've had in a long time, and it was really cool. Like being able to, cast some of the same teams over and over and kind of see how they did, every single match in the qualifiers and kind of see how they progressed. A lot of times it just took, a couple of rounds to get warmed up, and then they kind of got into that groove.
Sorry, I killed my screen share, but it's coming back. I promise you'll be able to see. I wanted to give you guys a bigger view, so now it's bigger.
There we go.
What's really interesting is when you're watching replays is that like so many of them revolve around A, the pistol action, and B, grenades, just because it's so entertaining to see the artillery strikes and the snipe grenades.
Oh man, you're just now reminding me about grenades. I didn't actually prep anything for our first nade section. It makes me sad because I want to use my new logo.
Yeah, grenades.
Just that you see in the importance of sneaky play. Someone just hiding around a corner, working off that sound, steps out, bang, gets 2 people for nothing, for free, because they're making so much noise.
And there's so much in the sound here, right? Like the smokes you cough in, the footsteps, the guns touching the wall. Like if you're trying to creep up on someone and you hit your barrel into the wall, that gives off an audio cue.
Oh yeah. And it's frustrating when you're in the moment. It's hectic. You're trying to run, and you don't think about the fact that you left your gun back 20 steps ago because you were running around a corner and your arms were sticking out. Your gun just gets left behind. Hits a ledge, and you're running out in the open thinking you're about to kill someone, and you got nothing in your hands. You're just doing jazz hands.
Sorry to interrupt you, but you just saw the clip of the nade chasing some poor guy as he's trying to get away. He runs, he sees it coming, it bounces around the corner and catches him even as he's trying to get away. We've all been there.
You can't escape the nades, man.
Grenades in VR, very, very different. You can't really do lineups like you do in other games. It's all just muscle memory and getting used to that. And that's something that a lot of people aren't prepared to do, or they're getting used to it from the mechanics of other games. Pavlov has a really interesting throwing mechanic compared to Contractors, compared to everything else. So I'm glad this game went with the manual throw for sure, because Pop 1 is definitely lacking there.
Oh my gosh.
Let's just not ever talk about that.
I know this isn't about. Yeah, first time I ever played Pop 1, I was like, wait, you can't throw these?
Yeah, they went to the consistency side rather than the realistic side, which is fair, but it's way less fun.
Right. It's funny. Pop 1 brung the arms climbing up walls, and that felt really cool. And then they take away that VR enhancement by doing what you said, having the weird grenade throws where you just click a button. It's like, why is the question?
Yeah.
Why stoop that low?
I mean,
while watching these replays, I just saw someone holding a line. So, the 2 cardinal sins, I would think, on Suna. He's holding a static line, holding a scar, and kills 2 people. He's holding a static line in between 2 containers, and just killed 2 people. What's our view on a scar?
Nobody can compete with the scar, man. The scar is where it's at. That's the Big Daddy gun.
The scar's hot garbage. That gun is just no.
The scar is great. You guys should all use the scar. You guys should all use the scar.
I think the UMP is actually better. So.
Oh man.
Potassium had 10 points against Temple in that match. I didn't even realize that.
Oh yeah.
I did not see that score earlier. I want to watch back that match later on if I can find it.
You should. What you just saw then was there was a scan that was going off, and the guy was disabling it. Pistol in the other hand. Guy comes out from cover to try and stop the disable. Straight up, one hand pistol to the face. Shoot, gets the kill, gets the disable. What a hero!
Oh yeah. Now we can find a lot of these matches from qualifiers in the IVRL YouTube channel, right? Even past matches from qualifiers 1 and 2. So that's going to be, if people want to go watch those back to kind of learn, maybe if they're going to look at your group for playoffs, you're like, crap, I've never seen this team before, how they play. You might find them their old qualifiers match and kind of maybe learn a little bit more of, are they just all about aggressive? Do they do 5-man pushes every site they take, or do they kind of play based off of where they're spawning in on the colonist side?
You got to do that opposition research. That's key to getting out of your playoffs group for sure.
I mean, let's talk about that. That's what we brought the bottom row here on to talk about. Was you guys qualified? Matt, you qualified in qualifier 2, which was what, 3 weekends ago?
We all qualified in 2.
You all qualified in 2. So what have you been doing since to keep up that? I mean, yeah, but how do you do that, right? I mean, how do you even get people that want to play you? You know, like.
You'd be surprised. Most teams want to play good teams. Actually, that's the only way to get better.
That's exactly right. Especially if you're, because you got limited time, right? For a lot of players, a lot of teams are picking up VAIL. So I assume they look at you, they look at Royal Strive, and they're going, well, if we want to play at that level, we have to play the people at that level.
Absolutely.
If you're playing anything lower than that, and you expect to get to Miami, you're in for disappointment.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. You'd be surprised. We've had a scrim every day for the last, I think, we're 10 days, 11 days or something, all different teams. So everybody's wanting to play.
Yeah, we've been scrimming a boss fight actually over the past couple of days, and I dare say probably gonna continue that since we're going in separate playoff groups. So may as well.
Yeah,
I've had the lucky opportunity of watching some of those just from the player views. And that's been some exciting stuff. Again, Royal Strive, it's a good benchmark, just same as Velocity. Forgive me if I'm wrong, you both played against each other in Qualifier 2, didn't you?
correct.
We did.
That was a freaking amazing game. At one point, was it 5-5, then it went 6-5, 7-6, and then I think at that point, on the swap around, that's when Velocity managed to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, it was a good back and forth. Yeah, Vortex. Yeah.
Sorry.
I was like, we're all sure he's talking
Vortex.
about, right?
It's the bourbon, right? It's not your fault.
It's that's the V.
We're docking your pay. Every time someone screws up, we take a drink, gentlemen.
Yeah, no, we were. That was a really fun game, actually. We were kind of worried that it wasn't gonna, go back and forth like that, but
yeah, it was very nice because he put into perspective for us how a lot of deficiencies in our strategies. So we learned a lot for it, and we're able to adapt then a lot of our plays on sooner off of that, and definitely that match has made us improve a lot on that map.
Yeah.
So
both of us definitely learned a lot from that game for sure.
So here's a question for both of you. For both teams, sorry, that includes Samachi as well. Who in all my time in esports, especially in VR and any esports, you do as much research on a team as you can that you're going to be facing. You look at the real threats in your group stages, or if it's a one-on-one. The point is, you do research. At this point, there's so little source material to go off. Where are you finding the research? Well, I mean, outside of the qualifiers, I mean, you've got scrims and maybe a joust cast here or there, but how are you preparing for these other teams when you have so little kind of casted intel on them?
Tell us your secrets. We want to.
Yeah, let me open my notepad real quick.
All of the above for sure. We've watched jousts, we've watched the qualifiers. We try to record all of our scrims and stuff to watch back. Try to play every team we possibly can. One of the reasons why we were so excited to play Strive is that they're European and we don't generally have the availability in those time zones. So that was the first time we had played each other. So there was definitely an interesting situation learning on the fly there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For us, it's been so we've been running our tactics, our site takes, and even if they're not necessarily working in a scrim, we've just been carrying on running them because we've been really key on identifying where are the weak points, because equally when you're running a strat to attack, you also learn how to defend against it, and if your strat isn't working, you then know how to repel by copying what the opposing team's doing, that sort of attack. And we've just been going through all the different permutations we can, what we think's viable site attacks, and then sort of coming up with a predefined list of set takes that we want to do for each map, or set tries, and moving from there. And we'll wager it against new teams, sort of spread out, see what works, and then deviate accordingly.
Yeah. Bouncing off that, you have to keep in mind that the goal isn't necessarily to win the scrim, it's to be better when the scrim is over. So just because you can win by slamming a site every time doesn't mean you're actually doing anything for your team there.
Yeah.
Right. That's a good mentality to have.
You need a well-rounded team, just like you need a well-rounded drink.
I'll drink to that.
Hell yeah, brother.
I mean, you gotta think about it, what you do against one team, even if you do, smash that scrim and you attack A the entire time and take it. That's not going to work against another team. You know, you have to know how to play everything. The better you are at more things, the better you are against more teams.
Facts.
So let me ask you this: for the team that starts with V,
we can be velocity. It's fine.
For Vortex, did you guys exist before VAIL?
Yes. Yeah, we go back a few seasons in Pavlov. I think the core group of bros have been together for 3 years at this point. So
Right.
Started in Pav, moved on to Pop 1. We won the Invitational for Pop 1 when it happened last year in May. And then we also adapted Contractors and now on to VAIL as well. So quite a few different games that we've been playing for a while, and we're pretty familiar with each other. Royal Strive is a mixture of a bunch of Pav players too. So even though a lot of these people are players that might be new to VAIL, there are a lot of players that we can pick up habits from watching their previous games or other games that they play as well.
Right. So you, Matt, again, so same question, I guess, the same thing for Royal Strive.
So we have 3 members who have been playing together for, I want to say, since 2020. We've been playing together. Then we've taken 2 of best players from Contractors, Toxic Boss and Lon. And then we picked up also a few other players, one from VAIL and 2 others from Pavlov. Pavlov's got a lot of transferable skills into VAIL. I'd arguably say it's the closest VR game to VAIL out of all the others in terms of being able to transfer over. The only difference really is there's less recoil dependency in VAIL than what there is in Pavlov. So,
Right. I mean, myself, Lipinski, Trip, we all come from Onward backgrounds, so arguably there's some of that transfers, but I don't think to the same level as Contractors and Pavlov.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you were saying about the difference between, we don't get a scrim EU teams, sure, there's going to be some difference between some American, different tactics across the pond, but that exemplifies in Onward. Whereas I would wonder, does it change so much in something like VAIL? I struggle to see that because, for instance, in Onward, you'd have the EU teams were really slow, like really not like they were known world renowned for being slow, and then the US teams were super fast. And when they used to come together, it was a weird kind of mixture. But you watch VAIL, and just it's 2-minute rounds. It's very close. Everyone is fast, right? I mean, would you say you've actually noticed something that would be like, oh, that's a US kind of play style, or that's a European play style in VAIL?
it's not region dependent. It's definitely team dependent. You definitely get a lot of different defaults, essentially, depending on which team you're playing. But VAIL is just fundamentally a very fast-paced game with the current meta and the movement speed and the ADS speed and all that. So it's pretty hard not to just be very fast-paced in general.
Fair enough.
How does sorry to cut you off there. How does the competition feel different between different games? Like, how does it, how does the skill gap feel in competitiveness? Playing VAIL, top teams in VAIL versus top teams Pavlov, Contractors. Does it feel like it's more challenging in some games than others, or what's your point on that?
So coming from a Pavlov perspective, where I've won the championship for that 3 times. Well, admittedly, one was just EU, but I've won the championship for that 3 times, and we've also got 2 members on our team who just won the most recent VAIL season, and I played on a different team to them and lost quite horrendously, actually. So the skill cliffs in them games actually feel quite daunting. The top teams are actually out there by quite a far margin, I would say. Whereas VAIL, it seems like a lot of people have been able to pull resources together, and it's feeling a lot more close than them other games.
What about you, Frig? How do you feel?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I would say that there's still a gap a little bit to, however you want to break down the tiers of teams, but it's definitely not nearly as pronounced as something like Pavlov, which essentially all of the top teams, or a lot of them, are teams that have come from Pavlov, whether they be EU or NA teams. So it's definitely, we're playing the same people in a different game, essentially, is what it feels like a lot of the time.
Yeah, it makes sense. There's translation there. You want to translate as many skills as possible, and I suppose the games are similar in a lot of regards. Although I'd find VAIL a lot more tighter, quicker game.
It's definitely new enough that there's still a lot of fun, tricky, non-meta things you can do that nobody's figured out yet.
Absolutely. All right, so going around the table then. Samanchi. That's without the N. What a dark horse team. One dark horse team that you would pick to look out for.
Out of all of the ones that are currently in the group stage, I mean, there's a couple of teams that I want to see move on from these. I think DEF CON could do really well if they put in a little bit of time to working towards VAIL a little bit more. I'd like to see DEF CON succeed.
I take it DEF CON are from the Pavlov
team,
scene?
You know, they're from Pavlov, yeah. I'd love to see them. Looking through the whole list of teams here, the cool thing about VAIL is that there's a lot of teams that we didn't really know about. Like you have the people coming over from VAIL, from contractors, even a couple Pop 1 teams, Cobra, Cartel, initially a Pop 1 team threw together a team for VAIL for this tournament. And there's a lot of people that we've not heard of that are coming through. So seeing all of the new talent and all of the new skill coming across is super cool as well.
Yeah. And Frigg, what about yourself?
I would have definitely said DEF CON, mostly because they're a pretty competent PAV team that's just literally transferred over. I would say Narcos is another PAV team that has basically just sort of gotten into VAIL just because they realized they might be able to qualify, and they look really strong. And then you've got teams like VGG, which I haven't personally played because, again, European time zone, but they look really strong too. I don't know if at a 1 seed you could really be considered a dark horse, but I don't know that they're in most people's brackets to make it out of that playoff. So who knows?
All right, and to you, Matt.
Well, this is one to ask yourself. Are you aware of Wrecked, the team playing in your group?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to say, for the people who haven't kept up to date with roster changes, they just picked up Natex and Clev, and that team is now looking horrendously strong. So even if they weren't on people's radars in the group stage, they're very strong now. So certainly one to look out for. I
mean, I've got the same, me and Lipinski have got, and I'm sure Trip have got our own answers for that, which we'll come to in a moment. But this could be the unpopular opinion, but there's the big three at the moment, arguably the big four. So group one, and this is going to be really, really divisive.
Are we just about to have controversy? So do I need? My hands on the mute button. All right, if we just got to boot Radar off of here, we're ready to go.
We got Velocity over here. We've got Royal Strives, something, I don't know. Anyway, no, we got, so group one, we got Royal Strive, right? That's the big bad in group one to beat, arguably, right? So in group two, arguably Wrecked is the big bad in that one. Group three, you have Velocity. You got Vortex. And in group four, who do we think? Globochem? Are they the big bad to be in group four?
I think Globochem. That's my prediction in terms of who might, who's the highest probably census of who thinks going to win. I think Globochem's probably got the most votes on them right now.
I saw Globochem. You faced Globochem in group two, right? Vortex?
No? I don't remember if they were group two or not.
Maybe not.
They were group two.
Yeah, I think they might have been. I'd say out of those teams that are there, Cobra Cartel, even though they are a Pop 1 team, I think they're incredibly strong.
Right, but like they might be incredibly strong, and I'm not saying that they won't win it. I'm just saying of the established VAIL teams, Cobra's a new one relatively, and like you said, they've got something to prove. I'm sure they'll put in the hours. I'm sure they'll be amazing to watch. But of the established teams, I think those are the four best known. I know Wrecked isn't that established, but it does have Natix and Clev. Natix obviously has a lot of weight behind that name in the VAIL scene. So I think those are the four teams to beat, right? So the notes I've got for myself for Group 1, the team that I'm going to be keeping an eye on is VGG. You already said Vanguard Gaming Gold. I have seen them. I think Boss Fighter actually playing them right this second as we speak in a scrim, and they've been just playing constantly. They've had 2 pickups recently. They picked up T, who was part of Solaris, picked up Seaquick. Another player who's been put a lot of time into the game. So I've just been seeing them come from strength to strength to strength. Like they've been just putting in the time, putting in the hours, and I think you're going to see something, that you're going to have your eyes open for them in the Group 1 stage, their Royal Strive.
We certainly will not be pulling any punches in that VGG game. I can tell you that much.
For Group 2, I mean, I gotta say it, boss fight is there's quite few of boss
Where's
fight in
that?
Group 2.
Alright, he's muted. He's muted.
Oh my
He's
gosh, here
out.
comes the caster bias.
Yeah. Alright. Let's hear the reasoning.
So well, there's also a few other great ones in there. You got Homeland, you got Off Constantly, you know, this guy's team. You know, anyway, the point is,
Spam the ball in
the
the
reason
chat.
why is they're putting in the hours. Matt, you know they're putting in the hours, right? You've scrimmed against them. How would you say that, like, in your experience so far against them, they're not a pushover team, I'd like to think?
Not at all. And one thing that I would credit Boss Fight very much for is the fact they're very adaptive. So particularly, we found it great to slam pushes against them because the way they react to our stuff that works is really great, because they can pick apart where the weaknesses are in our pushes mid-game and then try to play against that, and it's been an invaluable learning experience for us to sort of improve our strats from it. So yeah,
Excellent.
definitely no pushover at all.
You've been helping him. That's what he's saying.
And then there's more reasoning behind it, but I won't go into it. I will say that hopefully there's some clips that we've managed to get together. Probably not actually, but in the Group 1 stage qualifier, they 2 of the 3 games they finished 10-10. Like they had like the people they were playing, Vanguard Gaming Gold and Artifacts, they finished 10. It was 10-10, came down to the last round, and they just managed to edge ahead. And then of course Vanguard Gaming Gold and Artifact came first in both of their qualifying stages, or with the top seed in points. So they didn't make it through because Boss Fight knocked them out. So so they're relatively unknown to a lot of the Pavlov and contractor teams that are coming to it, but certainly not a sleeper team. Wouldn't sleep on that. Group 3, Dark Matter. Got to represent for Lipinski. There's a lot of great teams in Group 3, but Dark Matter, they've got the chemistry, they know they're playing, they're putting their hours in, and what we saw on the group stage from them was like a raw team you were seeing learning the ropes, but you could see that they were putting in the work. They'd already had the basics down, and you just have to assume that they've got the chemistry, they've got the history, and hopefully they'll be powering through. And they've got Mr. Lipinski here, who's no pushover in the scene. He's putting the casting work, but and then Group 4, last but not least, Snoopy Juice.
Yeah.
I have no idea who these guys are. I've never seen them before, but they destroyed their group stage.
That is an OG Pavlov name. It's 3 or 4 seasons old. They kind of went their separate ways, but they've come back together for VAIL.
Really? That's interesting. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. So now I know the story behind them. I thought they were fantastic. They had all the basics down. They had some advanced tactics. They were doing great rotates. The defense was strong, and they dominated their group stage. There was no one they went up against who they didn't completely destroy. I mean, some people put up a great fight against them, but ultimately they just walked it. So I'd be really interested to see how they're going to perform in Group 4. And again, that's not if I haven't said your team's name, I said 4 teams' names out of 48. So don't take it personally. There's a lot of amazing teams out there.
Direct your hate mail to Radar.
Yeah, I was going to say, following on from that, I'd say the 2 games that I'm particularly interested to watch will, well, I'm hoping these happen. Who knows? Maybe some shocks will happen, but Boss Fight versus Wrecked in Group 2, and I'm actually interested for Globochem versus Cobra Kai in Group 4. They're the 2 games I've got my eyes on.
Cobra Cartel, not Cobra
Cartel.
Cartel.
Cobra Cartel, not Cobra Kai. Sorry, that's a different team.
So last one, Lipinski and Trip, you both have some teams to talk about, I assume. Maybe Trip.
No, go to Lipinski first.
No, I'm going to go first. Trip can go last. I've been holding my tongue for a while now with your whole boss fight prediction, Radar. Come on.
No, there was no prediction. I just said they're teams to watch. I'm not saying these guys are,
Fight.
I completely agree on those top 4 teams that everyone's thinking, they're probably going to make it to the final 4. That's Strive, Vortex, Wrecked, and Globochem. I agree on all those. Globochem, I think, is going to be probably the hardest one to get into that final 4. They're going to have the really closest matchups for sure. And but in Group 1, VGG, just like you said, I've been watching them this entire time throughout this tournament. They've been doing a really good job. They're constantly playing in those pugs. They're doing jousts. They're practicing all the time. They're not giving up. And then for Group 2, I had Boss Fight on my list, but I think Off Constantly might make it instead of Boss Fight. That's my dark horse. I think Off Constantly might be the upset in there if they get in. You know, I think that they could beat Wrecked. I mean, they've been practicing a lot. One of the members on off constantly is actually on my Onward team, Animal House. So he's telling me almost every day what scrims they're doing, how they're doing, what they're improving, and it's all connecting the dots. You know, it sounds like they're really gonna, you know, possibly bring it to the finals. Group 3, if Vortex doesn't make it, then I think it's going to be between my team, Dark Matter, and Raptors. But I think, I'm being fully honest, if my team's not playing on their top game, like 110%, I don't think we're probably going to make it. You know, it's a really tough group to try to make it to the finals. I mean, one, we have to beat Raptors. That's a tough match in its own. And then lastly, we have to beat Vortex. I mean, we all know Vortex is a very powerful team. You know, they have been practicing a lot. Like you said, the past 11 days, you've had a scrim every day. I mean, that's something that Dark Matter just hasn't had the availability to do. So right there, we're already behind, you know, but that's going to be a fun group to watch. Even if it is a sweep, I think it's going to be interesting to kind of see, what Vortex is bringing to the finals if they make it. And then group 4, you know, as I said, Global Chem is going to make it a pretty close one.
Can I just interrupt you for something? I keep looking at the group stages, and it's group 4 that's got me the most most interested out of the 4 group stages. It's the most balanced one by far. There's so many, you got Havoc, boom, you got Sleepy Juice, boom, you got DEFCON, boom, you got Peacekeepers who could bring something surprising. You got Tempo, you got Globochem, you got Cobra Cartel, you got Artifacts. I'm not mentioned Artifacts. They're another up and comer as well. They've been putting the hours in again. There's so many good teams in Group 4.
Exactly, and I think Group 4 is going to be the most unpredictable group. I don't think anyone's going to be able to put down a grand saying, oh, they're definitely going to make it to the finals. I mean, someone's probably out there saying they're probably betting on who's going to go to the finals or not, but probably me. I think in Group 4, it's probably going to be down between Artifacts and DEFCON. I mean, Artifacts, I play with them almost every day in Pugs. I mean, they are constantly at the top of the leaderboards. They're always in sync. I mean, if they have at least 2 or 3 of their players on one team, they're just always alive. They never die, and they're taking these sites, and I'm like, what is going on? They've got the craziest call-outs, too, that I'm like, okay, you're the only team that calls out that position, that name. I mean, no one else. And then, you know, DEFCON, as you said, it's a Pavlov team. You know, if they put in their work, they're probably going to be able to maybe take that group. You know, it's still going to be a close one though. Group 4 is definitely that wild card group for sure.
Okay. All right then.
My turn?
Trip.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, listen, Trip. You know,
I don't have teams. I've been busy doing this stuff for the last month. All right. I haven't really been watching, honestly. What I'm more interested in, other than teams, is Gidi and Mar, and how you've been prepping to play those.
Not in Pugs for sure.
Yeah. Nor lots to play either one in Pugs.
Yeah.
Even now, I mean, now that the quals are done, right? You don't have to keep running Suna
It's still
every day.
happening.
I mean, we sometimes see Kidi show up, but
nobody's playing Mar.
Not so much. Yeah.
It's going to be a crapshoot for sure.
I think the Onward teams might have a good chance on Mar. I mean, Globochem, since I've started playing VAIL, have always just been a power horse on Mar out of the 3 maps we played them on. Like in Suna and Kidi, since we started playing VAIL, we've had a good chance at beating them. Sometimes we do beat them, but whenever we played Mar against them, they just brought that Onward experience of a larger map, slower play movement, because you got a lot more open area to run around in. So you got to be a little bit more careful. And Globochem just kept sweeping us. But at the same time, that was when the upstairs cat scaffolding was much different. Now it's not even close to the same as it was 2 months ago. So, it's gonna be interesting to see how Globochem and other Onward teams play like that. I mean, one thing I didn't talk about earlier is I feel like Onward is probably the most difficult transition when it comes to coming from another FPS shooter to VAIL, because it is not all the same speed of a game. You're so slow. You're holding angles and you're not really rotating. And then when you do, you rotate like 10 feet. You're just watching a different angle that right next to you. So coming from Onward into VAIL, it is much different, especially if you don't have like CS:GO experience or any of these other flat pancake games. So
the other really weird big difference is that with VAIL, from my perspective, when I first started playing VAIL and casting it, other than just like the intense action, bang, 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 go, 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 was the fact that, in Onward, you've got one map that has like 10 objectives, and for each one of those objectives, like either team can spawn at multiple different spawns. So you have so many different kind of combinations, whereas in VAIL, right? There's the artifacts. Yeah. This is where one team spawns. That's where the other team spawns. And from that, you have a much more of a competitive game. Like, I'm not going to not say it. It's definitely a much more esports competitive game.
Repeatable consistency for sure.
Yeah. Right. So if I can cut in there, one thing I'd say about MAR in particular, so Onward teams, I played Onward for a few seasons. It kind of reminds me of sort of Suburbia in the fact you've got both opportunities. You can play it slow and you can play it fast. Like, particularly when we've been scrimming it, there are plenty of opportunities as CT to get really aggressive, get in there, get behind T's, and completely shut down pushers. Same sort of what I'd see with Suburbia. I mean, my old team captain was quite the aggressive player on Suburbia, so yeah, it's, I'm sure you know. So yeah, there's lots of varied ways you can play MAR, and it's going to be really interesting seeing when we get to these knockouts and when we get to LAN what sort of meta is settled and whether we do actually opt for a more aggressive play CT side.
I mean, when you look at Suna, there's only so many different places you can go. So, Suna's a very basic map in comparison to something like MAR, where MAR has so many more different levels. It has much bigger playing field. But again, it's that verticality on MAR. It's not just the fact that there's X amount of tunnels. There is verticality everywhere. The zip lines everywhere. It changes the speed, the pace, the way, the angles you have to cover are completely different on MAR. And it changes what a team has to do, right? If you're just playing Suna and Kitty, they're very similar in the roles you play. There's a bit more verticality in something like Kitty, arguably. But yeah, like MAR is the big kind of red herring there, right? It's the one that's so different from the other two in every aspect,
Good old zip lines. I hate falling off that middle zip line on the Rahab side, up that pipe. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I mean, with the map changes too, you need to get back in there when they added penetration to a bunch of stuff, right? So like, that map is not the same.
Oh my gosh,
you haven't played it.
I was about to say, if we're speaking about penetration changes, the window on Kitty is just a guessing game at the moment.
Oh my gosh,
is that the completely clear window? We've asked for that to be like changed because like it needs some sort of like glaze or reinforcement or something that makes it like, this is not penetrable or this is penetrable. Like it needs to be set one way or the other, and it needs to be clear. I agree with you on that. Like that's something that we want.
I was playing in a pug, and it was just like right after the update, and I was looking at the window. I literally waved to the enemy. He looked at me, just took one shot and killed me. And I'm like, "You can shoot through the window now?" I was so embarrassed.
I have a clip of doing that to somebody. He waved at me, just like, bang.
Maybe that was you killing me. Who knows?
Maybe.
Well in.
All right, we've been talking for like 50 minutes, guys. We've got clips to play. Who wants to watch some clips? Let's run some clips.
Roll clips.
I have not seen these clips. I think Radar's the only one that's actually seen these clips, so we're gonna experience these together. Here we go, hopping into replay number 1, which is the Budgie nade. At least that's what it's labeled as. Let's see if that's... Oh, yeah, look at that long throw from Budgie right onto Sam Sabers. Boom. Out like a light.
Wow.
We were talking about nades earlier, right? Like, I think this game does nades the best out of any of the VR games. Like, the throwing mechanics feel
it's
good.
It's visceral as well. Like, the impact of... Like, the shockwave that comes out of it.
Yeah.
That looks so
They
sweet.
feel like heat-seeking missiles a lot of the time. It's kind of crazy.
Let's see, I don't
the audio change was a massive difference too, where you can't necessarily hear them coming anymore. Or now they just beep as they chase you.
Oh, that makes it even more terrifying.
That's not better,
Yeah.
You get the fun. Let's see. Do I even have that thing on here? Look, you get this guy chasing you. You get the little
Yes.
grenade that just wants to love
Love
you.
it.
Just let it love you.
Uh,
All right, so I don't have a replay 2. Don't know why. So we'll skip to 3, and that is. Let me look at my list of things here. We've got another Budgie clip. This is a Budgie triple kill.
Toss in a frag grenade.
One with the nade there.
Takes out Ionic
Comes
very
around,
low.
hears him in the smoke, knows that someone's there, gets him as he comes out of the
Budgie with a
smoke, and
third.
gets the next one as he comes out of the smoke.
Oh,
I actually
Yeah.
think he,
Wow.
he
Yeah,
ended this
he-
round with an ace too.
Yeah, he pulled out an ace if you watched the rest of that clip. It was a crazy run for Budgie.
filthy,
Very-
filthy.
Very nice.
Was that Budgie? Was that DEFCON versus Spirit Gaming there by the looks of players?
I believe so.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting because obviously they're two established Pavlov teams. So playing sooner as well, which is quite similar to other maps in different games.
I don't know what you're talking
It,
about.
Nobody mentioned the obvious.
I mean, I'm saying nothing, but it plays kind of similar. So, yeah, particularly the Pavlov teams that have drilled their maps, it's always quite interesting watching how they adapt to the VAIL of playstyle. So,
And you were talking about Spirit Gaming in that last one, right? So this one is
Yeah.
also Spirit Gaming. As we hop into replay 4, this is a Spirit Gaming nade. That's all the detail I have for it. Oh, a Game Spirit right there gets a nade right behind Swag's head. Airburst kills him. That was such an aggressive throw too. That was not like a lob. That was like a yeet right at your head. Like, I'm gonna try and hit you with the grenade, and maybe it'll explode and kill you, but maybe it'll hit you.
There's a lot of frag grenade kills that happened over these past qualifiers. Frag grenade's very strong. A lot of people running double frags.
hmm
Yeah. Is this another? I think this is another nade. Look, we're gonna run it again. This is our nade section. Okay, this is first nade. Here we go. Replay number 5. This is Humanoid. Anyone know what team Humanoid is on off the top of their heads? Quiz time.
Sleepy
I
Juice.
don't see it.
Yeah, Sleepy
Sleepy
Juice.
Juice. Here we go.
Movement on the defensive side yet. But
Where is Humanoid? Humanoid is sitting there watching Cat
starting to run over.
and gets a double.
Wow.
We see kills there so often, especially grouped up kills. Don't group up.
Catwalk is a nade trap. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I
one
love
thing
smoking that cat and then going for the nades when you hear the cough. I feel like every time it works, almost every time.
One thing I have to give a lot of credit to Vortex for is on our pushes where we tried to go cat every single time. Our long and cat pushes were off synced by the fact Vortex knew exactly when to nade to stop the pushes. So that choke point is the ideal spot to land grenades.
You can land a nade there from just about anywhere on the map too, so it's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
So this next one, like, I've seen a lot of good grenades, but they're all in those, common spots. This next one is not a common spot. Same player. No, it's not. Sorry, Humbaba as in this next one. But this throw, watch this.
Over towards the A site here.
Like, that's a tiny gap. He didn't have a whole lot.
Tight
Like,
angle right there.
Threading the needle for sure.
and that guy didn't have anywhere to go either. So it's not like he could have evaded that grenade. Once it's in there in the corner with him, he's trapped, man.
I can't wait to see all the nade kills we're gonna watch on Kitty. I feel like that's gonna be
Yeah.
nade city, throwing it from A to
Yeah.
B site.
The skate park compilation is going to be good for sure.
Oh yeah.
I mean, literally yesterday with the boss fight scrim that we had, I went to throw a grenade as CT on Kiddy, and I thought I was safe throwing it a bit later, and then all of a sudden, a perfectly returned T grenade just lands exactly where I was going to throw from. Like, that map is going to have good grenades from both sides. It's really going to be one to watch for utility usage.
All right, so
yeah, I think a lot of teams are going to practice the nade throws on Kitty too before the playoffs. I think that's definitely going to come in handy, as well as smoke grenades. I mean, having the right smoke on colonist side is almost essential to try and win rounds on Kitty, just because most people are aware that it is a very, CT sided map. If you're not a really well established colonist side team, like if you're not the best at colonist, you're probably going to lose every round easily on Kitty.
It feels a lot like Nuke in that it's very hard to get T rounds.
Yeah.
So I see Pringles in chat, and I'm just gonna let you know if you You should just turn off the stream now and just go, because this next one's gonna hurt, man. Replay number 7 is Pringles dying to fall damage.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Unfortunate.
Oh, no.
But he
It happens to
We're
all
gonna see a
of
lot of
us.
that on Nah. We're gonna see a lot
he
of that on
also
Nah.
lost the round. It's not like he just fell to his death, right? Let's watch that again.
Let's drink to that. Let's drink
Let's
to Pringles.
give that man a
Pringles
drink. But
twice.
let's make sure I'm right here.
Pringles.
But I think Pringles was last alive. Swag gets killed first coming out of the smoke. Pringles is last alive, and then he just yeets off the edge.
And that was for the map win too. They were at match point.
Yep. At least it wasn't 10-10, because that would have been
Yeah.
even worse,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Poor guy.
stall on the wounds.
Poor
Yeah,
guy.
I think one of the boss fight scrims we played in, I managed to get a kill whilst falling and then proceeded to die from the fall damage. So
I saw little Sayonara do that one a few times.
yeah, it's
He drop shots and die as he hits the ground to the fall damage. It's a beautiful. That's poetry.
yeah, it is. It really is.
I will say, if you didn't turn off the stream, Pringles, we love you. And just to make it up to you, here's another clip. And this is a quick nade from Pringles. Watch this. He's underneath there.
Oh yeah, this was such a good nade.
Look at this. Nice timing. Perfect timing,
Nice
actually.
hair burst on his face.
Wow. I am shocked he didn't get a second kill there. That looked like it was right on the other guy too.
I'm
They're
back.
priming grenades
Nope.
in such a way that people can't even react to them. It's going to be huge. I think we're going to see a lot more smoke and flash utility the farther we get into group stages, the closer to finals, because people won't be playing those predictable
Batteries,
spots.
man. I don't know how
We'll
they
just
work.
see a lot more util in general in terms of strategic
Yeah.
util.
I've got to say, flashbangs I think are heavily underrated at the moment.
Very.
There's a lot of teams running pretty much exclusively smoke and frags, whereas working to more of the advanced end of players being able to like have one player flash you in and then you taking the peak on CT or T side, we're going to see sort of a lot more of them sort of plays towards playoffs, and it's going to be really interesting, especially on Mar. I've got to say, where a lot of the flash angles are really quite unpredictable when you start breaking down sites. So
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this, Matt. So, what kind of utility combination would you prefer yourself, depending on the map?
So that really matters more to my position. So the positions I normally play, T side, I'm running double smoke, and then CT side, I'm normally running either double frag or frag and smoke.
Okay, and that's typically universal on every map, then.
Mostly, yeah. Actually, no. Mar CT side, I run. In fact, yeah, no, that's actually universal. Yeah. T side, I'm normally the util guy, so I'm normally throwing the smokes. It's just
Okay.
sort of down to roll type thing.
Gotcha. Do you think everyone should be practicing their flashes before these playoffs, or do you think that a lot of these teams can make it pretty far without even having a flash equipped?
So it depends. Flash plays definitely work well. However, they are also the issue is it's a flashbang. It's a tell. You know when it's going to happen. They are very good one-round tricks. They are not the be-all and end-all of your sort of team strategy. You should definitely have them in your arsenal if you're going for LAN. You should have your flash play into a peak, but it should just be a one round, okay, like we're attacking this site or we're going to attack this site. There's the flash, there's the peak, we've taken the site, and then do something different the next round, because then flash plays, it literally takes one player to be stood behind cover and playing anti-flash, which is something, because we haven't seen flash established, isn't a normal dedicated position in VAIL, that it is easy to counter. So
Well, flash as well is a one and done, right? So it's all about timing. If you don't follow up on that flash, all you've done is alert them you're there. So
yeah.
the flashbang is it's double-edged sword, because it's so easy to get that timing wrong, coming round thinking they're blind, hoping they're blind. You're working on that momentum, and if you get the momentum and timing wrong, you get punished immediately.
So tell me if I'm correct in this, because I don't play as much as any of you guys. If you turn away from a flash, it is shorter on the effect?
It's supposed to be, but it doesn't seem to
Supposed
actually be
to be,
doing that
okay.
currently.
Right.
Okay, we'll get
There is a
in touch
point-
with the devs.
There was a point where you could hold your gun in front of your face and you wouldn't get flashed, but they've since fixed that. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But
I think the meta is going to change a lot too. So the way the game, like just the evolution of how people tend to play, right when people are getting the hang of it, people are in more predictable spots. All of this, frags are going to be huge. Once all of these teams start adapting to that, we're going to see a way more flashes come into play. We're going to have dedicated positions, like you were saying, the anti-flash, all sorts. But we're still in that kind of like pre-state right now, where everybody's still figuring out the meta, and it'll evolve over time for sure.
Let's see. Where did we end up? We watched Pringles get a quick nade. Now we're back to our prior replays. We've got, is it Registre? Is that the name? Registre.
Yep.
Also dying to fall damage.
Oh, no.
Look, we don't only highlight good plays, guys, okay? Where is Registre?
Oh,
was that him that just fell?
Defcon as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right off the cat.
I didn't even see
We're gonna
that.
see way more of this on Mar for
I'll
sure.
watch that again.
Oh
real
yeah,
quick.
I mean,
Oh my
there's
God.
like one place on this entire map where you can do this. You know, on Mar, there's so many places on the map you can do this. On Suna, that's it, right? This is the only fall damage area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping you also have the clip where he lost his gun to the ladder and then had to get a 2K with his
Oh,
pistol later
man.
because it was hilarious.
Let's see. That was 9. What do I got? 10. Oh, is this? I believe I
Maybe.
do. Number 10 is Registre Glock. So let's see.
Yeah.
So at the start of the round, his gun flew into the sky, and I followed it for a second. I was like, wait a second, he just has a pistol right now.
But
all
he's
you need,
still
baby.
managing to get those kills. Look at him. He got one there. Going for the second one. Gets him.
oh yeah.
Excellent. Excellent plays. And you got to be good with those pistols. We've talked about this before, but the pistol rounds matter.
What?
Sometimes a wall just eats your rifle, you know? What are you
Oh
going
my
to do?
goodness.
It happens. It happens. I had a wall eat my
Just-
Akimbo pistol the other day. I was trying to go kill it, and it just disappeared. And I was like, oh, I wanted
Frick
two
had a pretty
pistols.
amazing play where he was pushing through smoke, and someone ran into his gun and flung his gun out of the map.
Pistol round, so I didn't have a backup. It was great.
Oh my God.
Just running around hoping to find one on the ground.
I died pretty quickly, so.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay.
Now we've got Remix with a pistol as well. Let's see if this.
So this is where Remix is engaged in a 1 versus 1 versus 2. Oh no, this is to see him come around on a pistol round and get a double. So the key thing about that is Remix had 0 health when he came out there. So I was like, as I was casting it, like he's got no health. Either one hits him, he's dead, and he managed to land 2 headshots. Bam, bam.
Yeah, way low health. I mean, you can't even see it. It's behind his little number on the caster screen. But
Pow,
boom,
pow.
boom. The second one wasn't even a headshot.
Kidding me? Replay that.
Nope.
No.
That's,
Well,
I'm
there you
liking
go.
how
I mean,
we're-
that's
I'm liking how we're seeing a good variety of the silence pistol and the Glock as well in VAIL. It's really refreshing to actually see a lot of variety between the guns. I'm excited when we swap to Keedy and Mar, we're going to see a lot more of the SMGs in play than we did during Suna.
right.
What about
Mar's the
that?
crazy one for it because in your head you're like it's a bigger map. You'd use longer range weapons,
Yeah.
but every sight engagement is close range. It's Vector and AC9 Pro. You know that's
Yeah.
that's it really.
What about
Just out of
that?
interest, what are people running here in terms of pistol? Do we have any suppressed fans here or not?
Oh yeah, the Deagle. I mean, the suppressed pistol for sure. Yeah.
Deagle. Yeah, Deagle all the way. Well,
Deagle,
the
Deagle.
machine pistol is actually what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Mac 10.
Yeah.
Not I'm a Glock user. Iron Sights
Yeah.
Glock.
I
I
am
miss my
too.
shots too often, so.
Yeah, I was going to say, we don't have anyone on my team running the suppressed pistol at the moment. Everyone's on Glock. The fire rate just seems too oppressive.
Yeah. But that silenced pistol is a one tap from really far distance, and it's basically a deagle in that it's a 2 or 3 shot to the body most of the time. So it's definitely a balance. They're pretty well balanced right now,
Yeah.
I think.
If you got Vortex aim, you go suppressed pretty much. That's what I'm hearing.
That's what we're getting out of this. That's
Hey,
what
I
we're
didn't
We're
say
trying
getting.
to convince them. We're trying. Everybody likes the Glock. They like that bigger clip size.
Yeah, they like the backup of having double the amount of ammo.
It's
Hey,
not.
listen, it's not about the size of the clip. It's what you do with it that counts. All right.
Exactly.
It's not that I need
Yeah,
more
isn't that
rounds.
like 23 rounds?
It's not that I need more rounds because I miss. It's that I need more rounds so I can kill more people in one go.
Hey, you really
I
only need 5
promise.
bullets, right?
Yeah, you only
Yeah,
need
that's
5.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Can we get a snub nose 5-round revolver in game? That's what I want.
Oh gosh, is this
Give me
the
some
comeback
big
of the
iron.
R8?
Yeah. Give me some big iron.
The R8.
All right, moving on. We've got replay number 12, which is Rogue getting a triple kill.
Slowly inching up. Rogue's gonna get that audio and kind of
Where
call
is
over.
Rogue? Rogue coming
Yeah, he's
out
another
of mid.
he's another Sleepy Juice player from Pavlov. Definitely talented.
He just picks them all up right there. They're all grouped together. Oh no, we've lost Matt.
Yeah.
Aw.
Well, if he comes back, he comes back. If not, it's fine. You can see this
Brig, join me.
awesome royal
For
stri- yeah,
For Matt?
pour one out for Matt. You do have this awesome Royal Strive logo that you can look at, though. It's pretty sick
Right?
Yep.
logo.
You hit up their
Let
designer.
me talk about logos, people. I have to deal with your logos in the casting deck. Please, for the love of God, make them square. It's not hard. All right, we've got another nade in replay 13. We've got Vert doing a nade kill. Oh, what are we looking at here? We're stuck in a wall. Now we're following Just Do It. He's coming out. Pretty sure the coughing was heard. Little bounce off of the corner there and just right into. I mean, you didn't even have time
Perfect
to react,
example.
right? Like,
Feels heat seeking.
what do you do? Do you like? As soon as you coughed, you just run away? Like, what do you do?
Have wanted to see this in Pavlov forever ago, and I haven't seen it yet, and I'm hoping it happens in VAIL during the qualifiers. I really want someone to pick up a grenade and throw it back and get a kill with it.
Yes.
I've given the challenge. I put the challenge out there on multiple casts now, saying the first player that does it live, that returns to center, a grenade.
I will get you a free T-shirt from the IVRL merch store with one of the grenade
go.
emotes on it.
I think
We're
it's
gonna
gonna
die
be
to so many nades
Lonely
now.
Viper.
You
I
think
think
Lonely Viper
is
is
going to be the first one to do it.
that's
Yeah.
kind of monkeying around? He'll do, and he'll do
Yeah,
it.
Lonely
in
Viper's
like,
gonna
in the
throw a whole
playoffs or
match
something.
just so he can get a grenade return to sender.
So.
He's like, guys, I want the free shirt. But we got knocked out in the playoffs, but I want the free shirt.
With how catchable they are with the force grip, it definitely is possible.
Yeah.
I actually
Just
did one the other
one
night.
shot.
I
Man,
did one
when
the
I
other
go
night,
play
but I
other
didn't have it
games-
recording. I'm sad.
Right? Yeah, it
When I
doesn't
go
count.
play
That.
other games and I don't have force grip, like going back to Pavlov and just reaching at the ground and not being able to pick something up. Oh my god.
Yes.
The amount of times on Pavlov as of late, I have shot someone and went to put my gun on my chest,
Yes.
and it just fallen to the ground, and then just looked down in just abject horror. And
Man,
what have I done?
that muscle
Is-
memory just goes
yeah.
hard. You can't help it.
Yep. Let's hit this button. I don't know what this does. Hey, subscribe to our Twitch. If you're watching, you should be subscribed, or at least followed. I don't care if you subscribe. It helps, but just follow so you can catch all of these shows, because, you know, maybe I'll just randomly take over the Twitch one day and just, you know, start streaming like a cooking stream or something. You never know what'll be on here. It's really hard to tell. I mean,
I
we
bet
let Radar
cooking
on here,
stream
so
would
it
go
could
hard.
literally be anything on here.
Hey.
Vlogs.
What else do we have? I think that's it. We've done our highlight. We've done our replays. We've talked about what we are looking forward to in the playoffs. We do have the playoff teams. Let's look those up real quick.
You know, there was one other team that I did not mention earlier when we were asking about kind of dark horses, but in group, I think it's our group actually,
Yeah.
3. There's a team named Determined.
Yep.
And Determined was actually a rank 1 Hyperdash team. And Hyperdash, a little bit different of a game for sure. And Vortex was actually combined with them for a little bit because we had some top teams in a couple of different games than them. But they, I believe, just recently got access to the game, so they could be a pretty strong team as well.
And
Just needs to give them the game time.
I don't think anybody's said that, but Unicorn Holer List is a really strong combination of two different Pavlov teams that were both really good. There's a lot of raw mechanical skill in that team, and definitely don't need to sleep on them in Group 3.
I just want to rotate back to what I was saying before. A lot of my predictions and dark horse teams and what I was saying to look out for, all of that is prefaced on the teams I've seen while I've been casting or watching other casts, right? So there's so many other great teams out there that we haven't actually got to see casted. You know, like you're just saying Unicorn there. I didn't get to see them play at all, right? Like I've not seen them in action. I just know they walked the stages, right? When you look at the score, they destroyed everyone in their way.
C2 only because of the buy, yeah.
Right. Well, But my point is that like there's a lot of teams, who are completely unknown to all of us, right? We're all staging our ideas and what we know, and I really want there to be a team that no one here has mentioned.
You know, I'm going to mention two teams because I didn't actually pick earlier, but my two favorites here, Coconuts and Potatoes Elite. I just like them because like the names, the logos, they're just, you know, they're here for fun. Boogie Woogie Bandits, I also love. I love you guys, and thank you for all the nade memes.
I've got to say, Boogie Woogie Bandits, they were the first team we played in our qualifier, and that name is legendary, if nothing else. Like, honestly.
Yeah. That and the Orange Men, I love their logo.
Oh my god, I edited it, right? So we were cropping it, and we took the background out to make this image, and I was like, this is even worse. I don't know how, but it got worse. There's just this creepy orange on my screen now. It just looks at me. It's terrifying.
I think it's done its job then. Yeah, it's funny. I've heard of Unicorn Hollis so many times, and I've never scrimmed them, and I've never seen them play once. And I'm kind of shocked. I'm like, why have I not seen them play? Why have I not scrimmed them? I know that I talked to, as many of you guys know him, Rips Actual. He said that they started their scrims very late into, everyone else's journey in VAIL. But even still, I haven't scrimmed him. I think he just doesn't like me or something. I don't know. Maybe he's intimidated. Who knows? It's a challenge.
All right. So the last thing we haven't talked about is if you were in last week's if you were in qual 7 or 8, there we go, you were entered into a $1,500 merch giveaway from AxeLab, which we are now going to do, except I'm being told that Lipinski has been fired because he gave me a list with duplicates in it. And
yeah, it happens.
So I'm going to go get rid of these duplicates real quick.
It is what it is.
And then we're going to do a marble race.
Oh, yeah, I guess I do see a couple dupes in there.
Yeah, I was about to say, Excel literally has removed duplicates in it for lists.
It would if people spelled them right. But we have...
I copied and pasted. I didn't type anything, okay?
No. Now I'm throwing shade at my staff because they also... I went and grabbed the qualified teams, and I was like, how many teams participated? And I was like, 200? That doesn't make sense. No, it's because we can't spell. The same team played in like 5 things, and they were spelled 5 different ways. Come on, guys.
I've got to say there has been some interesting spellings of Royal Strive, seeing as the I in Strive is spelt with a 1. However, has my team spelled that entirely correctly? Not all the time.
Let's see. Shroud of Veil, STC. We're just gonna get rid of these creators. And
man, who would have just put those duplicates there? That's so uncool. I mean, all I did was click copy and paste from the qualifier announcements, okay? From both days.
You followed the directions. I will give you that. You followed the directions to the letter.
You can blame Sayonara for that. I think he's the one who duped the team names.
Yep.
Give me more stuff to blame on him. I love that. I love that.
It was definitely sales fault.
No, you know what I think? What it is? I think it's the names that are duped are the names of the teams that played qualifier 7 and then played qualifier 8 because they didn't qualify.
Yeah. It's not duplicate.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. All right. How do I open marbles? I'm gonna have to kill my screen share because I don't think I have enough overhead to do this. Let me stop sharing real quick and get marbles up.
Okay.
And then you can go watch the stream. Now we're only gonna do one this time. Does anybody, chat? You've got a little bit of time, and any of you guys, do you have a preferred marble race map? Because I do not.
We should do that one map.
That one.
That one map.
Okay.
The map with the things on it.
The one that everyone likes, obviously. Come on.
While we're talking about marbles, I've had the opportunity to cast live events lots of times, and this is why I don't like to cast, have my face on a camera when I'm casting, is because I have no makeup on, obviously, because why would I put makeup on? And but when you're doing live events,
don't let him fool you. He's definitely wearing makeup right now.
But Do you see this? You see this like glow on my head? Well, because we're talking about marbles, I thought it's a great time to interject. This is why I don't want to do this live. This is why I don't want to do this on a home cast, because I don't have some lady putting some like anti-shine on my head. I apologize to all the watchers because I'm blinding you constantly, and I feel very guilty about that.
Maybe you should go the opposite way and just make it your thing, embrace it, and just polish it up.
I like it.
That's the name.
I like it.
Very good. Okay. I see. Matt, I'm hiring you for my marketing team. I like where your head's at, kid.
You need to have like a like what are those like reflective mirrors that they have for like solar panels behind your head, just to like create like a sun glow on the camera. It's just a white ball of light with a body.
Making sure we don't have any duplicates in here. Looks like we're good. Okay.
Big shout out to Zyadic as well. They played great in the qualifier.
We've got two
qualifier. They're another
OCE
great
teams in playoffs. We've got Zyadic, who's Australian, or is it No Hand? One of them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Props to them for playing at 3 a.m. or whatever that was.
Someone's
No
Japan
offense
and
to any other
someone's
teams who didn't
Australia.
make it in qualifier 8, but Zyadic, I was so happy they made it through. I was so happy they just about managed to edge in 6th place because they deserved it. They played so freaking well, and just about got.
It's edging.
That's wholly inappropriate, but absolutely accurate.
This is Matt's fault. He
This
started
is gonna
with
be
the
my
alcohol.
first marble race I've watched ever.
All right, you guys can see it, right?
Yes,
All right,
I can see it.
we're gonna kick the stream over to the marble race, and there we go. I want to make sure I've still got everyone's audio. I do. I don't have the game audio, but I don't think there's game audio. I don't know how this game works.
We can create our own audio.
Oh boy, no, please don't.
Everybody's just marble race.
Please, literally anything.
He's the only one who hasn't been drinking for some reason. He's straight out there with me.
That's a sober idea, folks. Come on. And that's why we won't be doing it. How do I? What do I do? Random? Let's just random.
Press the play button. Play button.
Go to community maps. Pick a nice community map.
Oh, is that where I want to go?
Probably. Those are usually the crazy ones or the cooler ones.
Is there?
I just sort by rating and pick one that's elimination rate is, I don't know, something interesting.
The rating?
What's the worst rating?
Oh, the elimination rate. Ah, okay. I see.
So it's 90%. Everybody will probably die.
Yeah. Let's do it. I think that's fair.
That's a good choice.
I mean, we could go
Some
like
of you may
somewhere
bet
along
I.
Floating Heart Waffle. I feel like these are Lipinski sober names coming
Baffling,
out. Like, he definitely
confusing
made these all up.
mistake. I don't know. That one sounds pretty good.
I relate.
Let's run big professional melee and see how it is. We'll take a look at the map first, okay? We're not gonna run it right away. If it looks like a janky map. Oh my god, what am I looking at?
What? I don't know.
I don't think you can move until the race starts. They don't want you to be able to time it.
Fair. I'm gonna start it. This is not for realsies. I'm gonna start it so I can just look around and then we're gonna restart it.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh sweet Jesus.
Oh
Okay.
my.
All right, I like it. Let's do it. Let's start it over. Here we go. How do I? How do I confirm? I don't know how this game works, guys. I've opened it twice. This is the second time. Community maps. What were we doing?
Big professional melee.
Big professional
91% death rate.
simulation.
Everybody's gonna die.
All right. Good luck to the teams.
Simulation. Are all of the teams? Do they all have a marble?
Yes.
Oh.
All of the teams should have a marble, and I should know the casting commands, but I don't.
I'm going for Mug Maniacs just because I love their name.
Fly
Just
around
weird.
before it starts.
I love
Look
it.
at that.
It's like picking racehorses, right?
Let's just take a look real quick. What is
Let's
this?
see.
Oh my god, it's got lasers.
I'm gonna go for no fun intended.
Do the lasers kill you?
Elite potatoes. Potatoes elite. Let's go.
Is there? Hold
Let's go
on.
no fun
Have you started the
intended.
race?
No, I haven't. I figured out how to move without the race starting.
Oh,
I'm just looking around now.
interesting.
I'm trying to
I
figure
don't
out.
even know like what I'm looking at. Like where are
Like,
they
where-
going?
where's the end?
I don't-
Is the end? Oh, that's an elevator.
Up.
Oh, okay. They go down, and then they come up. But if the elevator's up, they just fall off the map. Then they get
Or it's a
might
giant
die.
squishing machine. I
Yeah,
don't
maybe
know.
that's where they all die. 91% you win.
That looks very aggressive. With
So then they
elevator.
go up, and then they come back down, and then they come. So it ends over here. This is the end. All right.
Oh, you sure?
Oh, they go off the edge.
Oh,
Damn.
yes. Okay.
Yeah, that's the end right there. Look at that. If they get slotted into one
Oh.
of the wrong ones, they are just
Oh,
out. There's
yeah.
nothing they can do about it. I want to pull up the casting thingies. Hold on. What's the
Mug Maniacs, if you win,
H.
I want to cut.
Like that.
So,
Yeah, same here. No fun intended.
Player
All right, I'm rooting for you.
Left alt. Oh, they're already on. All right, we're just gonna go with it. Everybody ready?
Send it.
Yeah.
Ready. Here we go.
Sleepy
Start
Juice
race.
has got this.
Let's get up to first place here. Sleepy Juice starting in front. Scroll out a little bit, get some views. Gibbstutz is going to actually take
Sleepy
that.
Juice corner into the tower, second corner in first place, followed by Precedence. Meow,
gosh.
pew, pew, Def Corner, Gibbstutz. People getting lasered left, right, and center as he comes down the. Oh, no, I can't keep this up.
Gibbstutz took the lead. They just skipped right through there. They're in first now. Limerock's in second. I
No,
don't
but
even
there's
know
a
who was in
second
first.
lane.
Gibbstutz.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
Limerock's out. There they
Oh,
go.
wow.
Oh,
One's
Limerock's.
already- Oh, no,
Good
Sleepy Juice is out.
studs.
Oh, my God. They're all dying.
Oh, so many teams. So many teams are out.
Oh man.
Meow,
I
pew,
still
pew,
see
and
no
Eclipse.
fun
You in the
intended,
lead
though.
now. Eclipse just taking it now. Precedence in third place. Or is it
Determined.
determined? I'm really
Determines in
confused.
first. Now it's back to Gibbstutz. It's really
Wow.
confusing how it determines first place. But yeah.
I see no fun intended. That's all I want to see.
Mo-
Oh, Meow, pew, pew, and
Oh,
Eclipse
some
missed it.
balls are getting
What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?
Oh, no.
Oh, they are. Oh, they
okay.
do.
That's
Oh,
what I
There we
think.
I want to go up.
All right.
Where's the? There we go. Oh no, they're stuck on it.
Oh boy.
Where we at? Where are we at?
Okay, Determined and Death Wish quite far ahead now.
Maniacs in second.
Oh, I see what happens here. If you fall off, you get sent back down to the bottom of the elevator.
Oh
Oh
wow.
I'm so
my
confused.
God. Oh, no fun
No
intended.
fun intended.
Ah, no. Oh man, no fun
That's in the
intended's on here
chat.
twice because I forgot to mark NFI and no fun intended.
Yeah.
Meow Pew Pew going for it.
I
They're
think
gonna be
they've
the
got it. Let's
first
see if they get it.
chance.
Meow pew pew. Ah!
Uh-oh.
No!
Not
What
happening.
is it gonna be?
Oh.
Precedence, precedence.
Presidents?
Are they
Is it Presidents or Spirit Gaming?
Precedence
Precedence.
taking the first point?
Presidents! Yes, sir.
Wow.
That's Greek
Oh,
Auto
no.
is on that team. That's one of my players on Animal House.
Look at these guys. Look at them.
Congratulations on all of
So
your new
that
gun
means
stocks,
I
boys.
automatically get something right there.
Napalm
Nice.
He's
and
gonna have to
Narcos
give me
just
something.
they can't make it through this labyrinth. Oh, determined. Bye. And I think that's
Yeah,
it.
that's what happened.
Let's cut back to the analyst desk. Precedence. Get in touch with me on Discord, and I will get you in touch with the Axe Lab person that needs to get you the information because I don't know how this works.
No fun intended. Still in it.
Oh my God.
What? I thought they flew up.
I like how they're still watching my game. We're not
There's a
watching
dude-
it on stream anymore, but they're just watching the game happen.
Oh, and if I made it.
Hey.
Wait, is
NFI
it
coming in
Yeah, they
fourth. We just got fourth place, guys. That's the attrition rate on this is awful, and Napalm is just stuck back in that labyrinth still, man. Like, hold on, let's cut back to this. Let's just
How many teams
The
were
lasers,
there, by the way?
lasers are
22
coming.
teams. Oh, there goes
ended.
Napalm. Precedence. Here's the final results. 4 teams out of 22 finished. 4 teams.
91%. Let's go.
That's a good number. That was a good map. We definitely need to find better maps. Or here's a better
Yeah.
one. Make us an IVRL map.
Ooh.
Somebody
Oh, I love it.
make us an IVRL
Someone.
map, send it to me, let me know, and we'll get it on stream.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I'm all about the community, baby.
But you gotta make it a 1% or a 99% elimination rate.
I want a set of tubes that they all go into, and then you can't see the marbles, and then they just spit out the other side. Like they just randomize. You know?
Well, you can see the names to the
We'll
tubes.
turn the names off. We'll just get rid of them. It'll be
Okay.
fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say thanks to everyone. Matt H, Frigg, Sumachi, thanks for joining us. Radar Lipinski, thanks for helping me host. And I don't want to go away without one more plug. I'm going to let Lipinski here. This is a VAIL talk show, but we are an IVRL community and we care about our other communities as well. So, Lipinski, you've got something coming up this weekend that will probably not do as well as our playoffs, but you know.
Yeah. Thanks.
We'll let you talk about it.
What a savage introduction that was.
I told him I had a good segue for it.
Oh my gosh. All right. So if you guys don't know, I'm the owner of VR Charity Tournaments, where we create charity nonprofit tournaments for people to sign up to compete for large prize pools. We currently have one in Onward. That's this weekend. There's still time to sign up until Friday at midnight. There's $3,000 in prizes for the tournament as well, and it's raising money for Stack Up, which is a nonprofit charity that's trying to battle PTSD, anxiety, depression with our veterans in active duty by giving gaming as an outlet. They send Xboxes, PlayStations, VR headsets, Nintendo Switches, and they offer a 24/7 hotline to have people talk about things if they feel like they need someone to talk to. But if you're interested, you can sign up. You can go to vrcharity.net. That's our website, and you can go to register here. And after this tournament, there might be a VAIL tournament. I don't want to, confirm it yet or not, but keep your eyes out for this winter as well. And next year we will have quite a few LAN events as well too for our finals. So if you're not playing now, just make sure to join our Discord as well, as we will have multiple tournaments next year too that you can participate in and maybe fly out and meet a lot of people at too. So yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I just want to say, even if you don't play in this tournament, Stack Up and Mission 22 are two of the biggest, best military outreach and PTSD charities. So if you don't play, just go support them.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I mean, even if you don't play, the biggest thing is just trying to help out these charities and raise funds. So if you don't play, there's still a donate button on our website. So if you just want to do a direct donation to Stack Up, you can do that as well. So yeah, but if you want to watch this weekend, it will be live as well. And you can find the live stream on our website and our Discord.
And with that, I think it's it. I am excited for playoffs, guys. I don't know what to expect. I mean, qualifiers were wild, and the playoffs are going to be such a ringer. It's just going to be so much more action all day long. And heads up. So, because there's so many matches happening at the same time, we're not going to be able to cast them all. We just don't have the people. We don't have the channels, and we don't want to miss some of the good action. So, if you play a match, if you play a nail biter, a banger of a match, if you tell us after the fact, we will go back, we will grab the replay file, and we will watch that match. We'll try and rebroadcast matches that we missed during the week. So we'll try and get some casts going. Those 10, 11 matches that we missed in the beginning, because there's I don't know how many happening at the same time. I don't know how brackets work, but there's a lot of matches happening at the same time, and we just can't catch them all. So I feel like we're going to have great matches. We want to get those replays played out, and we want to take advantage of the features that the devs have given us, too. I mean, it's such an awesome feature to be able to go back and watch people get grenaded in the face in slow motion. What more do you want from a video game, guys? Come on.
More grenades!
Doesn't get better than that for sure.
So we will
Tomahawks.
see. Oh, Tomahawks would be cool.
Yeah.
But I think that's it. We've been going. We're a little over time. I appreciate everyone sticking around and hanging out. We did have a full desk tonight, and I appreciate all of you guys coming. If you want to get on next week's show, hit me up in Discord. We'll try and build the stream a little bit not 2 hours before. Just to make it easier for scheduling people. I mean, I'm glad that everyone here was available today. These are the guys we wanted. We just forgot to ask. I'm bad at things. But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the community, and we're going to get out of here and let you go play some more VAIL.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you on the weekend, everyone. Good luck.
Have a good one.
Welcome to the IVRL VAIL launch season with a prize pool of $35,000 and a LAN finals in Miami. The launch season will be split into 3 sections: qualifiers, playoffs, and finals. The season starts on August 6th with the first of 8 qualifiers. The qualifiers are single-day Super Swiss brackets with a predetermined number of rounds where you fight to stay alive and only 6 teams progress. All teams start with 0 wins, 0 losses, and random seeding. Teams will face off against other teams with an equal win count. After the first round, all the winning teams will play each other, and the losing teams will do the same. Each match consists of a single map, first to 11 points. Once a team accrues 2 match losses, they are eliminated. After the final round, the top 6 teams will be qualified and secure a spot in the playoffs. These 48 qualified teams will split into 4 groups, playing on the first 2 weekends of September. Each group will play its own single elimination bracket in a best-of-3 format. 1 finalist will emerge from each group, and at the end of the playoffs, 4 teams will have secured those spots to play on a stage in the Miami VAIL Major. Finals start with an online single map round-robin bracket to determine seeding. Then, the 4 teams are flown to the Miami VAIL Major. A single elimination 3-map bracket with third-place matches will decide the final winners. Teams will compete for $35,000 in cash prizes and the glory in being crowned the champion of the IVRL VAIL launch season.